So thank you for everyone for joining us on Consistently Creative Crew's Photo Time, the first Wednesday in March. So it is March 5th, and I am going to talk about how to preserve voices in your Forever account using the audio files that might be on your phone, but I'm going to just expand it a little bit, give you a little bit more information. I'll end with a demo, and then I will turn it over and we can have some work time for people to work. So most of the time, I think people think about recordings as being musical recordings, but there are lots of times where we might have a vocal recording of somebody, and that might be a good thing to put up in your Forever account. So I just want to talk about that topic, how to upload and organize maybe some ideas that you haven't thought of that you might want to do a demonstration, and then follow up with some questions in a work session. So as I was thinking about this topic and doing some research, it really dawned on me that preserving voices is just as meaningful as preserving photos. There are many times when I have spoken with people and thought about if I could only hear that person's voice one more time, it would be really nice. And I've met people who have recordings from voicemail machines from the days when they were on cassettes, or even on your phone if they're more recent, saying, it'd be really nice to just keep that, that last message or that one message that I have from them. So I think this is something that is overlooked and maybe people don't think about. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention tonight. I think we do think about preserving musical performances, kids' band concerts, or music recitals, or things like that. And Forever Storage is a great place to do this. And they do make it very easy in order to save all these different files. So in uploading and organizing them, I want to talk about the digital file types, how to find the audio on your devices, and some tips to help you preserve them. So just a reminder, there are a lot of pre-digital audio formats that you might not have already digitized. And if you haven't, you can still digitize things like reel-to-reels, cassettes, and they come in 3 different sizes. There's standard, I think standard was also referred to as compact, and then there's micro, and then there's mini. Records, there were 3 different sizes, 8-track cassettes. CDs, now those are not really pre-digital, but they are a format called CDA, which does require a conversion in order to be recognized on the internet as a file that you can play with most of our media players. So while they are truly digital, they do need a conversion in order to be stored. So the current audio file types, there's a whole bunch of them. MP3 and M4A and WAV seem to be the current most common formats. Most of our players can play and recognize those. So, but any of those formats that are listed are things that your Forever account can store and play. And the nice thing about the Forever Guarantee Fund that goes along with your storage is that they will pay for the migration of your content to new digital formats over time as they become available. So you don't have to worry about the format being compatible with whatever future technology there is, which is a really nice thing. So once you have it up there, it will go ahead and migrate to future formats. So on your phone, there are places to find all of your voicemails, and most of us know where to find our voicemails because they're in our phone app or a voicemail app or whatever carrier specific app you have to find those, because most of us listen to various voicemails, or if they happen to be converted to text, we read our voicemails. Our voice memos are in different apps depending on whether they are an iPhone or an Android. And that's what I'm actually going to demo in a little bit, how to take a voice memo off of your phone and move it up into your Forever account. The other nice thing is the voice memo is an awesome thing to use if you want to record something and you don't want to record the video. If you would like to just get the audio file of an event or something else and you don't really feel like you need to have the video, you might want to just use your voice memo recorder and it will capture that audio for you. And audio doesn't take up as much space as video. So sometimes when you just really want to have a recording of the music, the audio, for somebody talking, using the voice memo app on your phone is a great way to do it. You can also, if you do have a video file, you can extract the audio from that video, and that is something that you can go online and search and find apps that will help you do that and help you extract it. And just a note for people who do Zoom recordings, they typically have a file that is separate. So they have a video file and an audio file, and the audio file can be saved separately. So if you do a Zoom meeting with some family and you want to record it and you want to just save the audio file, you can do that. And they have that broken out for you very easily. So one thing that I would really recommend is that when you are using and saving that file, that you include the name of the person who's speaking or the names of the people, because while AI can really help us identify people and faces and image, we don't currently, we may in some future time have the way to identify who the voices are. So it is really helpful, I think, to people down the road to know who the person who is, being recorded. Including the date or the approximate year is helpful, and having a short description like Grandpa talking about his childhood in 1940s New York is really helpful in order to give some context for what the recording's about. It's also helpful and nice in our Forever accounts that we can also upload a photo alongside that recorded story. So that also gives you additional context. So uploading a photo of a grandparent alongside their recording of their story, maybe even a scanned recipe that has an audio clip of a family member explaining it or why it became an important family recipe, can be really helpful. Also, you can add additional summaries or the full transcript in the description field. And you may want to consider using AI transcription tools if you want text versions of longer recordings. I know in the old days, I sat there with my cassette recorder and the headphones and stopped and started cassette tapes as I was trying to transcribe them. But now there's some additional technology. Just a word of caution, you might want to be sure that you pay attention to the privacy considerations of any AI transcription tool that you are using when you're wanting to do that. And then, of course, back it up and safely store it in your Forever account. So a couple of ideas for you for what kinds of things do you want to have stored. It may be something like voicemails from loved ones, so you can just retain their voice. Oral histories about family members sharing their life stories, because that gives a lot of meaning to people. Not just the pictures and knowing who it was, but hearing their voice talking about their life makes it more meaningful. Story time, recording grandparents reading favorite children's books to their grandkids, or even if you don't have grandkids yet, maybe pre-recording those books for future grandkids. How about children's voices with kids reading, singing, sharing special moments? There's a lot of special times where we have those children's voices or even babies first talking. So you have some of those precious memories saved. There's also lots of things with special events, wedding toasts, graduation speeches, heartfelt messages to people on anniversaries or retirements or other momentous occasions throughout their lives. Then there's things like audio letters, recording messages for future generations. There's a lot of people who served in the military who used to get recordings from family back home and send them back and forth. Having some of those captured for the future is really meaningful. So I'm going to stop sharing and I am going to attempt to share from my phone and screencast, and hopefully this will work. Okay. So I'm going to go into my voice, if I could spell, my voice memo app. So gonna slide that off. So I just went into my voice memo app and I have a couple of recordings, as you can see here. If I wanted to record something now, I could just press the red button and talk and it would record. And I have this recording from Beaches, which I'm going to go ahead and press. It actually just happens to be the waves recording. I'm not sure I remember why we recorded the waves back in 2014. I think it was something about wanting to be able to have it and to be able to fall asleep to listening to the waves. So if you want to record it, or upload it to your Forever account, there's always a button to share and it changes over time. But on this one, it happens to be where the 3 dots are. When I press those 3 dots, I get this option here to share. So when I press share, there is that icon that's next to the share words is a box with an arrow pointing upwards. That's the universal symbol for sharing. And then I can share it into my Forever account. And I could type a description here. So I could say, listening to the waves. If I could, and then post it. And it will save it and it will be in my Forever account. So it's as easy as that. It's the same thing with voicemail. So you could go into your voicemail, you could actually press the share button and upload it directly to your Forever account. So I think hopefully that is pretty straightforward. Does anybody have any questions about how to do that? Could you see well enough on my screen sharing? Okay, good. Excellent. All right, so here's your challenge. Think about saving one voice recording that means something to you. So if you have something on your phone, go ahead and try to save it. Even if you don't have anything that you really want to save forever, try the process. Make certain it works. See if you can get it to work so you can actually see, test it out and make certain that you don't have any issues. So I'm not sure, and nobody said they had any questions. So I want to also remind people that World Backup Day is coming up the last day here in March. It's the 31st. And Forever has some blog posts going on about World Backup Day each week in March. I've been sharing some of those on Facebook. But also my Forever team is hosting a webinar, which they do every year on World Backup Day. And we've had a variety of professionals come and share with us a number of things to consider for World Backup Day. And if you are interested in either listening in on that webinar or getting the recordings, just let me know and I'm happy to set you up with that. So there are no further questions. I'm going to just kind of turn off the recording and we can go ahead and you guys can work on your photos and I will do the same thing. So we've done this quarter, we've talked about photo organization and project planning, also documents to safeguard digitally, and how to preserve voices and audio files. So now you can hopefully make some progress.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Kari.
Thanks, Kari.
So thanks so much for watching. And if you are catching this on our YouTube channel, we'd love to hear your comments. And I hope that this was helpful to you in preserving your voices, your voice memos, your voicemails, and look forward to hearing from you what you thought. Thanks so much.